the game, though. It's going to be Inferno.
And I think something that's just kind of worth pointing out is, so Paquetá have played a couple of officials with best of threes. They've done this. They've been around the block. Furia Academy have had very few officials that have been best of three. In fact, if you go through their HLTV, I don't think I saw a single one. Now, there might have been other matches where they did, but in terms of straight up official match, this is like a whole different ballgame.
Oh, the first actions are going to be coming through. It's going to be going backwards and the forwards, but Venom going to be trying to do his best to try and get these kills. Picked up a nice two-piece. Ali's going to be coming around the corner. Look at the time in. Get a kill of his own. Unfortunately, it's going to get stolen away. Venom's going to be on a three-piece. Vicente planting one peaks on 215 hand. Shots are taken with the double peak. They almost lined up there, Sam, but they managed to get the kills, get the defuse, but the bomb did go down.
That's a super important thing just for making sure you can actually buy something into the next round. Very often, you know, these pistol rounds, when you're the T side, sure, you'd love to win them. That would be like first prize. But more than anything else, you know, the absolute bare minimum, just get that bomb down. Just get that little bit of extra cash and you're happy. Oh, did we lose someone? I feel like he like vanished and his gun just fell on the floor. And that's a little bit creepy. I'm not a fan of ghosts, I'll be honest. Really spoopy.
Too spoopy, 5 me.
You know what? Not the worst time for it to happen, I suppose. Probably be really terrible if they were like, you know, 8 rounds in, gaining momentum, suddenly someone drops out. So hopefully we'll get him back into the server relatively quickly. But yeah, so just kind of back to what I was saying. So Furia haven't had the opportunity to play a ton of best of threes in an official capacity. So this could be a slightly more difficult situation for them, you know, something that they're not necessarily as familiar with. You know, best of ones, wham bam, it's done, and then you move on. But best of three, it's a lot longer, it's far more grueling, and if you go all the way to the 3 maps, it's exhausting. So this could be a really big test for the Furia Academy side.
I think these kind of tests, especially during close qualifiers, are so badly needed for these teams and these players, not only to just test their endurance, but their resolve across these different maps, how they're able to change tactics across these different maps on the series. Obviously, in Inferno, it is one of the most played maps, but it's still, in my opinion, one that keeps its originality, and there's a lot of difficulties on it. And if we see like Paquetá pick up the momentum at the start, how are Furia going to deal with that? How is that storyline going to develop? And I mean, in general, it's one of the reasons why I love CSGO. But especially for these teams who are coming in here a little bit more fresh-faced, trying to prove themselves and build themselves up in their confidence. And I think Venom's done that fairly well so far, picking up 4 kills in the pistol round, 1 shy from an ace. Probably feeling fairly good.
Yeah, good start, all things considered. And really it's about that momentum, right? It's one of those things that we talk about incredibly often. Just kind of build up as much of a buffer as you can. Because obviously starting on that CT side, look, it's a little more kind of back and forth on Inferno, but in a very generalized sense, maps tend to kind of favor the CTs. So you want to get as much of a runaway as humanly possible, so that you can make sure you don't have as far to climb when you swap sides. And this is a really, really important thing for these two teams. Obviously now Furia, kind of the opposite is true, right? They want to make sure that they get as many rounds as possible, but it's less daunting. So you want to get like maybe 5 or 6, right? Go into the next round comfortable that you can potentially concede a couple of rounds, because if you lose that pistol, it's like a major snowball for the opposition. And you don't want the opposition to be 4 rounds away from winning once that pistol happens. So you give yourself like a little bit of breathing room, but it's not quite as dire as when you're on that CT side.
Yeah, not as dire. It could definitely be a little bit of a struggle, but obviously on the comeback here, I only see 4 players, but I think there's 5 players there. So that overlay, oh, there we go, it's fixed. They're back! We're in! Interesting circumstance, but you know, this stuff does happen. We're not playing on computers after all, so it's just the case. Banana push, a little bit of an aggression up here from the T side. They're trying to explore, poke fun with players, and they're going to be met head on with the utility. Molotov is going to be going down. The M4 pushing it through it. Goes into the spray. You have to be careful. You know, I can take your head right off. I'm going to be able to back off this just in time, but there is going to be constant flow of these terrorist players. making their way on over. They have lost one. It's actually to the nade from Ali correctly. Now the corner is going to be the same player yet again with MP9. Really got 2 bullets left in his magazine. He's going to have to try and save him. He's got his P250 out. They don't care. Go chill, mate.
Oh, that was heartbreaking because like he was spraying down, but all of his bullets were winding up in Narnia. Oh, that's so unfortunate. And then of course the teammate comes to the rescue to get that last little kill. That was rough for Furia. Obviously they had forced up maybe a little bit too heavily into that round, which leaves them in a tight spot in this one. They were really hoping that they'd be able to come out on top of that one. They took a lot of, they attempted to take a lot of banana control, lots of early aggression, and they get done in by an HE, and unfortunately slows them down to a standstill, and they can't even make it through to the top of banana. So now they come into this round, they've got 2 deagles. Oh no, caught in the same place twice. Ali, you can't keep doing this.
I love it. I love this kind of play. I mean, MP9 is down banana. I mean, I'll take that every day. It's an absolute ideal situation. These players on the CT side, they're on a bonus round, so every kill they get at the moment is brilliant. Oh! Perez just coming back through. Getting that kill. Almost dying to that Glock. That would have been a little bit disappointing and upsetting, but nonetheless, they managed to get through with only. Did they lose a player? No, they didn't. So they're friendly.
They lost 1 player. There was cowards with the deagle shot. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm completely losing my mind. But decent start. But bonus round is over. They managed to win it. Furia gonna have to come back strong.
Yeah, and particularly when you consider the fact that there's now going to be an AWP in play. Could be deadly, could be dangerous. At least Furia are able to buy in here, and this is good because it's actually a fairly decent buy. But it's going to take more than just good weaponry. No, these angry, aggressive pushes are just working out so well, but at least it does get traded back.
So it's back and forth there. The AWP was over towards A. It's going to be rotating back on, well, not back on over towards B to fill out the spot from Ali. It's, it does make sense to try and hold this with an AWP. You're going to be able to hold that angle from coffins or deep sight if you really want to. You can see player is doing at the moment. He's going to be meeting head on with them momentarily. Seems like it is going to be a setup for the B site. I imagine we're going to be seeing all the default lovely smokes, maybe even a Molotov as well thrown out in the right correct spot. But no, it's just going to be a flash. They go in fairly dry and they're going to regret it. They're going to be losing 2 quick shots coming through. Almost a third through the coffin box as well, but he's going to back off. He's going to wait to live to fight another day. Smart decisions, and this is kind of this is real players. Okay, they don't want to lose another map. They lost previously on Mirage 16-12, if I recall correctly, in favor of Furia. This time they want to make sure they're not bested. It'll be a 2 versus 4 advantage, definitely on the side with CTs as they enter into the fight. Senti. Waiting to get the kill, but has to turn around, and 1v4 he gets 1, but could be all she wrote.
I love the decision that Gafolo makes there. So obviously he gets those first 2 kills, which are nasty. He plays such a good position that the flash doesn't connect. Like, he doesn't have to turn away or anything. Like, the flash just goes completely past his line of sight. So he's 100% fine where he is. And of course, Furia, they think they flashed out the sight, so they just push through. Instantly 2 kills come out, but Gafolo doesn't get greedy. And this is super important because going into that fight 4v2 is way better than 3v2. It's basic maths, people. And they're able to leverage that really, really nicely. Sure, they allow the bomb to go down, but at the end of the day, the most important part is that they do manage to, of course, take out all of Furia Academy's players. So they're putting massive dent into the economy, and we can see that. Even coming into this round, sure, they're still able to buy into the AKs. They've got full armor, but very, very little utility available compared to what you would like to have, right? So, I mean, this is a great look for Paquetá, and you look at their cash as well. I mean, there's absolutely swimming at it at this point. So, no concerns whatsoever there. Keep your players alive into the next round if you can. Make sure that you can confirm yourself the round when Paquetá just playing this really well.
I'm excited, but we are only 4 rounds in, Sam. So it's definitely going to be a bit of a marathon, not just a quick sprint. Or, you know what? It could be. It could be a 16-0. That I'd be very surprised. We have got a slight tech break again, guys. Don't worry. I'm sure it'll get sorted quickly. If it doesn't, we will go into a bit of a longer break just to make sure we can get everything fresh and up and running to go forwards. Obviously, this is the first map. If you are just joining us here, which we are just starting out, but if you are just joining us again, this is the first map of potentially 3 maps, Inferno. And I mean, it's going to be an interesting one. I'm excited to see how they do on the following one, which would be Overpass. And then if we get to the third map, it'll be Nuke to decide it. Do you have a feeling that we'll get to that third map?
Really tough to say right off the bat, right? I think that 4 rounds in might be a little early to make that call.
All right, I am back. Sorry, Sam, and let's see if we can get through this game or if Destiny has other things in mind for us. Get it? Because he's the
Destiny. Ha 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 ha. Get out. After your memory about how a best of 3 will have 2 or 3 maps, now you're making bad puns. I can't deal with you anymore, Tom.
Right, my mistake. We're gonna have 2 or 3 maps. It's just the series is gonna last, I think. 2 maps, but last the same length. But anyway, let's move onwards. On from the memory, like you said, you've had enough of me.
Okay. A little bit of banana control once again. I do like that there's a bit more presence over towards A this time around. See if it works out this time. It has kind of happened a couple of times, and then he just kind of gets caught out, and the whole plan falls to shambles.
He's throwing down banana. That's instantly going to get smoked off. That's actually a really interesting play from them, because they've now just forced out information. They've also forced out utility from the side of Furia. And if you ever look, they have 3 smokes and a Molotov. So they have enough for a set up over towards B. Koala, what are you doing, mate? Be careful here. Venom is there. He's actually going to be coming out. Shots come through. Don't really do too much damage. Just completely reads it. Just with anyone knows that. Not for much of it.
I mean, we do love a Ferrari peak, but it doesn't always work out. I like that this time around there's that little bit of a fake over towards B and then the wrap around towards A. But Furia, I mean, they didn't fall for the bait. They've still heavily locked down the A site.
Yeah, they've just been holding it tightly, which is really good for them. The smoke is going to be working again in this situation for X and F. On the other hand, it's going to be done follow. It's going to be absolutely shredded. What has happened within a split second? XNS and Destiny just took down these last 4 players in a split second. I didn't even have time to really break that down. They just tried pushing through their own smokes, and they were obliterated.
That's what I was saying, man. That site was locked down. I just don't know what to tell you. You know, Paquetá, they had a 3-person stack there. I will say that it is a little unprecedented for the entire team to just get absolutely mowed down within, a few split seconds. I think they were really relying on potentially drawing 1 or 2 players over towards the B site, and of course that didn't work. And Gafalo, how?
Oh. But, nice, lovely banana to your death. Whereas last player left alive, he's got a deagle. He's got a dream, Sam. Star player or not, it's going to be super difficult to try and get this.
Anti-eco in it. This is more or less what we expected. A little bit of an absolute slaughter. He doesn't have control of bomb, so at this point it's just... maybe I can get an exit, Maybe just 1 kill, just to have something to write home about at the end of this round. Maybe even save a weapon, which would be damn near impossible.
Very impossible.
Okay, completely impossible.
Oh. Furia.
Doesn't bode well.
No, yeah, Furia struggling along here. They are buying that AWP, Sam. Is that going to be enough to try and challenge Paquetá? Who I mean, like I told earlier, they've got such a solid playstyle amongst all of them. I mean, in total, they've had 6 deaths, 6 rounds.
I think one of the issues, I think that an AWP could help, because I find that one of the issues is that Paquetá tried to get it relatively aggressive. I mean, you've seen, right, these like really aggressive peaks with the AWP, like right now, and I think that having an AWP of your own could potentially punish that, but not if you just run up long.
They do make their way up, banana, in the other case, so... well, it's definitely a decision. I'll give them that. So they do take out the AWP player, which is useful. The Senti's still alive and kicking at the moment. 1 kill could actually be the difference. This is probably actually the best moment they've had in quite a while. Best opportunity. regards to setups to be able to try and win this. I mean, Kara is going to be playing a little bit of a lurker position back over towards A apartments, which is definitely one of the key positions to have someone spotted. So if you can get a kill, or at least distract them, you'll be doing fantastic work. Venom has not taken the bait at the moment. He's still sticking his position over towards B. His teammates are on A, so that's going to be difficult. If he gets pushed here, which he is, we're going to be seeing the flash come out. He's going to be completely blinded. Smoke comes out as well. He didn't even realize that smoke was coming because that flash was so perfectly timed. He's wasted time here. He's not been able to rotate. Now we see the CTs come on through, and we're actually seeing the full format ready on over towards B. They've put a bomb down. Like I said, this is their best potential opportunity here to be able to try and do this. Well, it does make a couple of snaps. He drops down. Whereas a little bit too eager Beaver. Switch on over, play a little bit more passive over towards Cobbins, towards Ruins. Ali and Co making their way up. Destiny, but he's had a couple of issues today. He's going to be pushing up with himself. He's going to get the kill, but the trades are coming through. Descenti is going to be the last one to try and hold hope here. Scares going to get easily overwhelmed. Like I was saying, he's going to go down, but Descenti, AWP, shot them down 3-piece towards the end to save the day, and that's going to be the first round on the board, breaking that curse.
Yeah, this is exactly what we needed to see from Furia. I think that, so one of the things I lauded them for in the previous round was how they never took the bait, right? There was quite a bit of noise made over on B, but they kept their 3-person stack on A, just, you know, being a little bit more careful. This time around, however, noise made on B, player dies. Now they start to think, well, it's going to be another fake. So they leave that 3-person stack on A, hoping that Venom Zero is going to be able to hold it down, hoping that he'll be able to get that information early enough and that they'll be able to rotate in time. Not the case.
Oh, and that flash is going to be working up fantastically versus the Venom. They're going to be coming on the aggression. They get one, but the trade's coming back and forth. Oh, into the favor. Paquetá, as they manage to walk away with 3 players left alive in Destiny. And, you know, I mean, I may have made that fun, but he's in 11-3 at the moment. He is destroying opposition. Same with Venom. Furia.
This is... There were some sparks of potential in this round, particularly because, like, they got that early banana control. So consistently, start of the round, they'll push up banana and instantly one of their players will die. And so they've like lost control of that whole area. This time around, they're able to get that first kill. Awesome. But like the rest of Paquetá is there. And there's like a little bit of a spray down. And they just can't survive it. Ooh, that's unlucky. Essentially trying to get it one of those exits, but no, that didn't work out.
I think one of the issues there is that they kept on piling up banana, but there was no follow-up flashes behind them. So as they were peeking in, they were going in dry, and also just giving full advantage to the CTs who were able to just hold that same position because they were out there faster. So I think that needs to be something that Fury at least needs to take into consideration, is the use of their flashes. If they'd used 1, maybe 2 flashes out of the car, they may well have been able to save that. Now they're in this difficult position where they've gone into this weird partial buy with pistols and such and nades. With they're all on Tech 9s, I love it, but they're back on the back foot.
Bunch of HEs, so I'm really hoping that they can chip some damage and then do the cleanup with the Tech 9s. Not sure if that's going to come to fruition, especially because, again, Paquetá have really reinforced this A site and this positioning from Destiny. Oh, it could be everything.
Yeah, he's going to be in a good position. I would have said they should have trucked him straight up mid. They have proximity to against the AWP players.
Oh my god.
He gets one, but that's going to be all she wrote. Cares from long. Takes down the player who was about to slaughter his teammates. Destiny. Unable to do anything here. The bomb does go down. Ali. Going in to try and... Nice position, but unfortunately his head is shown next to the car. He's put off. Venom, what was that shot, you absolute dirty monster? Now on towards flight. His position has been pulled out. He knows where exactly they are, but it doesn't matter. They got his number and they pull it in and send him straight to the grave.
Don't know how I feel about Gafolo holding so close on site with the AWP. I feel like that was potentially just because it was Tech Nines. I feel like that puts him in a very dangerous position because up close and personal, those Tech Nines are going to absolutely pop off. Sure, he's able to get one kill, but in the time it takes him to reposition, Furia have more or less overrun the site already. So, like, in a general sense, that position will probably work, but just because of the fact that Furia was on that pistol, on that eco, and they didn't, you know, have a slower play to lean into. They rather just went for the full rush. It ended badly. So bit of an anomaly there for Paquetá. And now, oh, we're back onto the bee or the banana shenanigans.
It's painful to watch some of this sometimes. They have managed to do decently well up. Not an 8. I mean, they've got a 50% success rate. Either side pushing over towards long, the trade comes out. Not really a trade I want to go with. The follow there, ready to answer the problem. He missed this. That is so painful. Unable to really land that below. Not exactly what you want to be seeing. The unknown, he almost misses. Corrects. Venom. He had the bomb in sight, gets the kill, and now the bomb is lost pretty much forever. As Annie's going to be fire, gets the spray in. Final player. Run. Pick up the AK. Gonna have to hit some sharp headshots in with this one. He knows where both of these players are in a round. They're gonna be playing information gathering. He has to turn. Hadn't set himself up quite correctly for that front, so he was able to get slapped by both players.
And this is heartbreaking because that was another round where Furia made some decent moves, where it was looking like they might be able to come out on top of the round. They try something a little bit different. Instead of, you know, when they get to brackets, instead of kind of going over towards the right past the boiler room, instead they go over and try and go flank up the left side, and it almost works, like I said, right? They push Qualif off of his position, they take that space, they're able to get a couple of kills, but Paquetá just do so well at stabilizing.
It's going to be a trade down banana. This is just the usual scene, but as usual, it seems to have gone in the favor of the CTs. I mean, Paquetá may well have lost a player, but actually, I suppose, you know what? It was Destiny. So it was one of their top players versus one of the bottom players inside of Furia, at least in this game anyway. So I don't know. I mean, that trade's going to be a little bit painful. They are going to stick towards banana. This hasn't really worked out fantastically for them in the past. But you know what? They're going to have to try and do something. 8 rounds on the board for Paquetá. They can't afford to be losing anymore. And Qualif is here. He's looking to shut them down. My guess is they overpeak this a little bit too dry and lose their life in 3, 2, 1, and peak. No? Okay. Hey, okay, well, almost close. But Venom on the board. He gets the spray down. Transfer was brilliant, but Kara's with a double kill of his own. Fantastic spray. He's going to be jumping across. The AWP is going to be in that smoke. They know exactly where he is. Wall bangs. He's trying his hardest. He can't quite find the target. Bomb does go down in a little bit of a fluky situation, if I'm not going to lie. Decenti. Decenti, rather. I don't know why I want to say Decenti.
I don't know either, to be fair.
Decenti.
Although, I mean, Decenti doesn't sound that much better, to be fair. Maybe we're both completely wrong. Maybe there's like a special pronunciation that we're just like missing.
Oh.
Ooh.
Kobe. What a name. Absolutely fantastic. Trade off. X and S hits the floor. And AWB from Qualif is quick to find its mark.
Yeah. Paquetá just on a streak at the moment. Again, you know, we kind of spoke about how the last time they played up against one another, Furia actually did beat Paquetá. And it was 16-12, I think. So they had a really good running. It was on a different map, but still, I mean, this is a little surprising, and I'm pretty impressed to see Paquetá doing so well at the moment. Far better than I think I had expected. Obviously, they've more than confirmed themselves the lead into this half, right? They're already at the 9 rounds. We're about to hit double digits, potentially. Furia do have a chance here, but I feel like they just... It's not even about the utility in this one. Very often that's the big issue on Inferno, but they're just getting outgunned. Maybe a little bit of a slack on their own utility, peeking dry a little too often, but when they do get into those duels, they get outgunned.
Yeah, it's a bit of out-utilitied, outsmarted in some of these circumstances. I think Furia have been doing an interesting style, but it's very basic in the way they've been approaching this map. Can't really blame them. It's not, well, actually, sorry, it is their map pick. I was thinking for a split second it isn't, but no, it is. So they don't really have any excuses on this front as to why they're losing so badly in regards to this startup. They're going to be pushing over like this. pushed out through that smoke, completely blind. Sure, they managed to get this trade, but the information is now out. And the bomb is still out of control right now. Descenti is going to be able to get a kill. That's going to be a decent entry. Destiny. Oh, between a hard place and a rock, and unfortunately, that rock was Koala. Out. Venom is going to secure himself and his teammate to try and save on this run. So it is going to be another round here on the board for Furia, most likely. I really wasn't sure that was going in that way. I mean, that first push over towards long.
Yeah, it was a little surprising. I think the fact that Kais gets that first, or that the trade rather, is really imperative into maintaining control or getting control of the A site, right? Because the A site, by now Furia have clocked this. A site has a 3-person stack every round, and they stand in the same places every round. You got one player kind of chilling between kind of coffins and beneath apps. You got one player on the site, and you've got one kind of towards that back long position. So they know exactly where the players are going to be every single round. They peek out of that smoke, okay, the first place, but the first person is clearing that close cubby. So as soon as he gets taken out from the shot from long, Kaz is able to swing out and get the return, and that return is important because now they've given themselves a massive player advantage, and again, they know exactly where Paquetá have set up on the site. This is what we actually needed to see from Furia, but it may just be too little too late at this point.
9-3 on your map pick. That's going to be playing on your mind, and I mean, this goes back to what we were talking about, how these close qualifiers, that they're a fantastic test for their endurance, but also just their resolve. I mean, how did you get over the issue of the fact that you're now going to have to go through, and just so in case you guys can see, a tactical timeout has been used by Pekka, by the CTs rather, and I think it's a good time to try and stop that momentum. But I mean, Furia at the moment, they're going to have to go into the second half knowing that they're going to be at a massive disadvantage on Inferno, a map that they picked out. So Paquetá, they're going to be feeling fairly good about themselves. Furia, they're on a nice edge right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely a tough one to be in. So we head back into this round, and really what I'm looking for is a little bit more of what we saw in the previous round. Read into Paquetá. I'm curious now, however, because obviously Paquetá have realized that Furia would have read into their strategy. So now this time around, they're reinforcing B, and they've swapped up some of the players that hold those areas. Oh, no, okay, they're coming straight back. They think it's an A hit so early on.
There's a lot of utility all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, that was pretty much all of the utility on Paquetá's side. Look at it, they've got 2 flashes. Oh, there you go. Okay, they're picking up some. Okay, they had actually dropped them over towards D. That makes sense, but still. Well, he's going to be playing up close and personal this time without an AWP. Let's see if he can do the same magic with the MP9. He knows where they are, and he's going to be playing aggressive, gets the kill, trade. He's going to be coming through, but Destiny gets one of his own before he's found. XNS, his position is spotted as well. Wow. Furia, this is a very different team to what we've been watching for most of this game.
Very much so. Far more impressive display. I think, so there's a couple of factors that go into that. Obviously, Paquetá didn't have a full buy. They still had a decent buy, so we're not going to put too much stock into that one. But they did yeet so much of their utility early in the round. Now, props to them for reinforcing that A site, for kind of realizing, I suppose, because as much as there was utility coming up banana, there weren't players coming up banana. So I suppose off the back of that, they kind of figure, well, it's probably going to be an A hit. So everyone rotates over towards A. Good call. But you've got nothing to help you defend the line. You're still holding very, very aggressive angles. You don't have a ton of backup. And so when the swing comes through, you're just kind of getting mowed down. So really well played there on Furia's side to kind of take advantage of that. This is a much better look, as you mentioned. And I want to see if they kind of continue along with that. Obviously, now we head into a pistol round. Paquetá's just going to have the one hero AK. So not a hell of a lot to work with here. Not expecting too much to come out of this round.
Surprising things have come out of left, though. So we have to wait and see. But it seems like the magic has kind of worn off. I don't know, in the last 2 rounds, it seems like it's just worn off very sharply. So I'm interested to see what they're going to be able to do here. They've sent their player Destiny over towards A alone. Venom has still got the AK. He's 18-4 at the moment, mate. His ADR is off the roof as well. He's been fairly good. I mean, last round, I think he probably got about 0, but surprisingly, he was just trying to stay alive. Furia, they're going to have to walk the map here, mate. And I think it's going to be a fairly, they're going to be able to push on, probably get most of the kills. Venom has actually switched from back over towards A. Thought he was going to stay on B, but never mind.
Get it with a little bit of a gamble stack, which makes a ton of sense. And they picked the right site for it, but, given that Furia are so much more heavily empowered, I don't think it's going to go to their favor.
We'll have to wait and see the kills are coming through. And he's going to be able to get one, but the trade is coming through. Destiny with another, but... Yeah, no. Follow. It's the head, but... Not a kill, and that's going to be 3 survivors on the side of Furia. They're going to plant the bomb. Get the save, and I mean, Venom is just going to be backing off from this front. He's got smoke, he's got his diffuse kit, half armor, and obviously the AK in hand. So he's going to be fairly good on that front going into the following rounds. And I mean, that's 5 rounds on the board. That's not the worst.
Yeah.
On the T side. If they can get 6, then sure, that's great.
I mean, this is one of the things that we'd said a little bit earlier on during one of the tech pauses, but for Furia on their T side, to get 5 or 6 rounds, that would be relatively comfortable going into their CT side. So this way, even if they do lose the pistol and it snowballs a little bit, they might not necessarily be in the worst position. So they're not super strung out. Of course, they're still not in a particularly good spot. To secure this next round would be awesome. And of course, it is that last round in the half here. Paquetá, and you take a look at their cash. If there was ever going to be a good time for Furia to start bringing things back in their favor, it would have been when they did. Because now Paquetá, yes, they do have money, and they're going to be able to buy in. But it's still not going to be that, like, perfect situation. They're not going to be able to buy into an AWP, so they're not going to have that firepower behind them. Little bit lacking on the utility, not by much, but just a teeny bit. So definitely not the full loadout that they would have wanted, and only 2 kits. So this bodes very well for Furia.
You're looking very good on this round, like you're saying. Very well. We'll wait and see. Time will tell. We have a lot of utility getting thrown right away. A little bit of an aggressive utility. That aim position. You can see that smoke further down mid. And it loses head. Venom finally going to be able to lay down a law with his gun. He's lost a couple of rounds of ADR, so I'm sure he's a little bit peeved on that front, but finally going to get that kill. Qual is going to be down to 41 HP. Decent T. I can't make my mind up. Is it Decent T or Decenti?
I don't know.
Oh, man. Chat, correct me. I mean, I like chat. You're usually the ones who are going to be on all over me for this front. So correct me. Show me the way.
Ooh. XNS knows the way.
Show me what you've got. So, Koala pushing up. Remember, he's going to be a little bit low on HP. Destiny's going to be here.
Oh, Gafalo, don't turn away.
Koala.
Oh, he's so pivotal in that position. And he leaves.
That could be them in a whole heap of trouble. This push is going to be seeing Destiny in a huge heap of trouble. But you know what? If anyone's going to handle this, it's going to be the player. He's going to be peeking around and then perfect time when he gets all 3 of them to shut them down. Shut down that half and what? Alrighty, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone else. Sam, I'm excited. That last round, it's a bit spicy.
Yeah, it definitely started to show a few more signs of life. Obviously, towards the start of the game, we were just like, oh no, don't let this be one of those games. But Furia, they started to pick it up a little bit. They didn't get that 6th round that they would have wanted, but at least they get to start their CT side with a little bit of room to breathe. Of course, this pistol is going to be incredibly important to just try and create some snowball for themselves.
In GG, they've got 2 dual Berettas. I predict them to win right away. Obviously, Furia are playing with a stand-in at the moment. ZMB isn't going to be in the game. A little bit of a disappointing shot from him, but, these things do happen, unfortunately. It's going to be the push. The kill's going to be coming out, but the Molotov's going to be making quick work. He's going to turn out careful. He's got the dual Berettas. He's peeking around the corner. Doesn't find one. His teammates are going to be able to find a couple themselves, but it's going to be on a 3v3, and the rotation has already come out, actually. A little bit of a surprising turnaround from Furia on this front. We do have Kraus in an interesting position. He hasn't spotted Destiny. Destiny hasn't spotted him. So it's really going to be down to who moves first, or if Paquetá actually decides to go up through mid There's going to be a lot of information play here. Ali, is he going to check on the right side? He may
Oh,
well
no.
do this, but not in time. His
Oh,
teammate's going to get
no.
headshot, quickly domed. Followed up to another shot as well. Honestly, the Julies are so underplayed in a lot of times. I get memed when I play them in matchmaking and then hit all the headshots. I joke, I don't. But
I was about to
Paquetá,
say, no one believes that, Tom.
2 players, 104 HP across both of them. Venom's going to be get one shot if he's not careful. Koala gets a little bit of damage in, not killed. The plant is going to be going down. A fairly difficult spot for them to try and defend, but at least they got the money, Sam. I don't have... Yeah, there's no way they're going to win this. Venom was 4 HP. But
I think, yeah. I mean, Kai's positioning was really solid towards apartments, and the thing that like I see the player with bombs start moving over that way, and I'm going, oh no already, because I know, exactly what's going to happen, and that's cool because it also shepherds that player with the bomb. So the first kill comes through. And then bomb gets picked up and immediately starts heading over towards the B site again, where Furia has already set up a solid defense for themselves. So, really good CT side. Like you said, bomb does at least get planted, so they've got a little bit of extra cash. Big force coming out from Paquetá. So again, bit of a double-edged sword. If they don't come out on top of this one, it's going to be a rough round 3.
Interesting flash. Hadn't really managed to do too much. They get them slightly up into position. They didn't get insta-killed as they pushed in towards mid, but I don't think Fury are too worried by that positioning. But having those 2 AKs is going to be some struggle this side of Fury. I think they're going to be in a little bit of trouble. They're not careful, so we will have to wait and see how they're going to do with that. The MP7. We're going to have to wait and see how that's going to perform. It's, it's an interesting choice. It's not one I actually rate massively. It's fairly expensive and doesn't get you as much. Well, I mean, it gets you a decent chunk of money, but it's not really... Just go for the MP9. Come on.
Alright, Paquetá, slow and steady. Let's see if it does actually win the race. They don't have a ton of utility left here, but they have managed to pull quite a bit of presence over towards A. B site relatively empty. If they take too long, it could be detrimental. Oh no, they're going back over towards A. Oh no, this could be bad.
They're really playing a little bit all over the place, and they do have the advantage. Obviously, Furia having a stand-in. Not all the default positions are going to be known. Oh, they made noise. Come on. Oh, you see that follow? He's around the corner. Pre-aims at the bots. And, well, Destiny just peeks around the corner. Gets the kill. Now the MP9 on this player. He's going to be trying to do his best to get the kills, but it's going to be a play on site. He's going to get a couple for themselves. Now the MP7 that had kind of down smoke is going to be able to get 1 kill. P250 is going to be left on him. It's going to be a one-on-one situation. We now go into that 1v1 situation on this one. 2 seconds left for that to get planted. Glil picked up. Glil versus Famous, quite appropriate for this matchup, to be honest. 74 HP though, that's a massive disadvantage for the side of Paquetá. There's head armor actually on the side of Furia on run. Bruno. He hasn't and got follow. You know what? He is an absolute beast of a player. I'm not too surprised. 3 kills though.
Yeah, solid round here from Paquetá. Looking to kind of get back into their form. I mentioned that force was a little high risk, high reward, but they had some confidence in themselves. Kind of attempting to overrun the site a little bit there. I think the fact that it goes so back and forth is somewhat expected. Because, well, both teams weren't really on a solid, strong buy. Now the tables turn quite heavily as Furia have very little to use into this round. And yeah, I thought it was going to be a full gamble stack, but no. There's some strong presence towards apartments in case there's a rush. And then there's a little bit of presence over towards that B site. And hoping that they'll be able to stem the tide with what little util they have and maybe call in a rotation. Might not work in their favor. Paquetá seems to be angling for this B hit.
Could be the way to go. With that Mac Tant out close and personal, Ali could do a decent chunk of damage. The Eagles, on the other hand, on Furia, they're going to have to be in a better position. Obviously, as we were just talking about it, the IGL isn't in game, so they are a massive disadvantage here. I'm not too surprised.
Explains a lot, to be honest.
It just really explains everything on this front, and that is going. Molotov is going to work out fantastically. They can do initial amount of damage, but that smoke is going to stop it instantaneously. And if I'm right in saying that was actually from Paquetá, couldn't quite see who that smoke was from. I can't see it on the mini-map. Actually, no, it was from Furia, never mind. I was going to say, it's a little bit of a questionable move. Do a fantastic molly and then just smoke instantly. But hey, seen Stranger Things. We're going to be seeing a move on over towards the B site as originally predicted. The MP9 is going to be here, but so is the utility and a barrage of players from Paquetá. Here they go. Actually going to be coming out along with the smoke. People are going to be coming in play. They're going to be able to find one, but that's going to be all she wrote for this player. He's going to be backed into the corner and shut down and sent swimming with the sharks.
Yeah, this is one of those instances that just proves so much how important a good IGL is. Like, it's so difficult. People underestimate how difficult it is to be an IGL, how much weight and pressure is on your shoulders, how much impact those calls make. And this is just proving why it is such an important role and why teams will struggle without a really good IGL. And unfortunately for Furia, Zambi not able to play today puts them in a bit of a rough position. Kawes does his very best to rise from the ashes there, but yeah, not going to be enough. And that's Paquetá putting themselves on 12. Double Furia's scoreline. And Furia have had some shining moments again on this CT side. You know, these rounds have been very, very close. They haven't been terribly clean for either side. So at least they're keeping it competitive. The real challenge now is going to be actually cleaning that up. When you get those opening kills, stabilize, try to reinforce, and make sure that you can follow that up. It sounds a little forehead, but it's what you need. Yeah.
And pistols, if they can get a couple kills, it'd be fantastic. But unfortunately, it does seem like the majority of the T's are going to go to the other side. To B. Maybe not to B. We'll have to wait and see. Shakespeare can let us know. And it does seem like ZMB is actually in...
Hate you, man.
I love that. Oh, wow. Okay. Hello.
Okay.
Wait, what? No, that's not the script. Man, you're going against the script here. Venom. Okay, that's better. That's what you're meant to be doing here. The USP is making quick work to two of the players. And that's the economical damage that, you know what, I would be happy with. And he's actually picked up a name. They knew where he was. He was a bit screwed. Anyway, ZMB, he is actually, he's ill at the moment. Apparently it's not too serious, but we'll have to wait and see. So, you know, just have some thoughts for him there. And hopefully Fury are going to be able to make it through and pick up their map pick at least.
Yeah. I mean, we talk about how they keep the rounds close. Even the rounds where all they have is USP, they still keep it relatively close. Sure, why the hell not? Oh, no. Come on, guys. This early team damage thing has got to stop. We saw it a lot in ESL Impact last week as well. Just
giving Fury
love
a
your
chance.
Teammates. Yeah, there you go. Right, giving them a little bit of a handicap.
No, that's toxic. I apologize. I don't really. Anyway, moving onwards. AWP is going to be in the hand of Decenty rather. Maybe you in chat, like I said, can correct me on how I'm pronouncing his name. But either way, they are pushed up mid. No initial kill. There is damage on either side. Although XNS damage done by his own teammates in spawn. A bit of a Among Us style moment. Rotation back has happened. They left the bomb all the way back there as well. So, you know what, Paquetá, they seem to have taken a little bit more of a relaxed route on this front. And I think that's a mistake.
They do tend to play a far slower game on their T side, which I quite enjoy. Oh, dearie me. Okay, Bruninho's got the information now. He can call that across. No one's moving. What is happening? Okay. There you go.
Just gotta slow down.
Okay, a little bit of ooh.
This boost could work out fairly nicely for them. That's going to be smoke going out, giving them an information that someone could easily be over with DD, and that's exactly going to be the case. That damage is going to be coming through, but Koala with a reverse slap through the smoke, picks up two. His position is known. Destiny peeking around the corner. Look to see if he can edge his way around here. Yeah, a little bit of a revenge kill. Not going to happen. The bomb has gone down. Slow rotation, though, actually. He's obsessed. He thinks that someone's in apartments, but hey, mate, no one's there. But you know what? Carefully does it. Makes sense. Diffuse kits, Sam. There's none. Not a single one on any of these players at all. I don't know if there's one on them.
That has become my biggest pet peeve.
I mean, they kind of need that utility, but when they've been very slow in this retake situation, let's see if they can do anything, but they're going to line up. Coming through X and S. Even the player who was damaged, he's going to be the last one left alive. And he's going to be the reason they fail in getting this defuse. may well go down with the ship. But
Oh, close.
he took 0 damage from enemies, and he's on 12 HP.
Jeez, that is a terrible thing to point out. Yeah, Furia, again, one of those rounds, like, they knew they couldn't win it. They knew it just wasn't going to happen without the kit. But they still go in. They still get those kills. They still keep it expensive. Because hopefully that will make a difference in the forthcoming rounds. Unfortunately, not so much. After this round, we'll be on the very last round. We'll be on match point. And Furia, while their economy itself isn't terribly great right now, next round it's going to be even worse if they lose this.
I'm surprised how close they managed to get that retake situation, but again, they left it. They were very slow on it because they had a slow rotation. Hey!
Oh no!
Completely flashed.
Heartbreaking.
Paquetá just playing absolutely fantastic. They've got these angles down. They've got these flashes for their teammates in place. I feel almost sorry for Furia because they are just getting torn apart by Paquetá. It's obviously happened in reverse before, but let's move onwards. Destiny takes down decent team. I have not been done. There you go. CK0 is going to go down. Ali, with that kill, it's going to be nice. It's going to be quite the last one left alive, and unfortunately, it's going to potentially give them the penultimate round. Potentially.
Oh,
it has happened.
There it is. Oh, and yeah, Furia got a bit of cash, but gonna have to force in, spend every last cent. They don't really have much of a choice. And if they lose this round, well, that's them losing their map pick. A really rough spot to be in, all things considered. Now, thankfully, there is still a lower bracket should this not go their way into the next few maps, but at least they'll still have a chance, right? One of the things we mentioned, they haven't really played best of threes in officials, so this is a little bit more of a grueling test for them, but hopefully they'll be able to bring it back a bit.
I think my prediction has gone a little bit awry. No time coming into this front to follow. Going to be looking to make sure that takes down the player. That wasn't even a smoke kill, to be fair. He saw them clearly as he jumped up there. DK's out. Plays the X and S. This time undamaged by his teammates. He's going to have a better chance of being able to get some kills. But that now is with Banana Venom. Ooh. Takes him down to 19 HP, but drops. He's on 25-9. Absolutely.
I want to say, somebody had to slow him down.
Yeah, crazy.
Destiny's doing well too, to be fair.
Yeah.
There you go.
Destiny, there you go, chiming in. Now, Decenti, as I've had it confirmed, M4, his home ground. This chat is saying that he isn't an AWPer. Makes sense. He's missed a lot of shots, but...
Oh,
he's been spotted. He's been... A little bit of a rep. That's going to be a GG well played on that front.